Hey everybody, ShootingStarSVG back, and today I'm going to go through how to create word art or subway art in Silhouette Studio. It's a pretty simple process, and I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. It'll probably be me blabbering on for a while. We're going to go ahead and do a soccer example. So I went ahead in my main type program and chose some fonts that I thought would fit the sports theme. The first thing you're going to want to do is create your canvas. In my case, I'm going to be using a 10 by 10 canvas to put this on, so I created my workspace as a 10 by 10, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in. So what you're going to want to do is open up your text panel, and you're just going to want to start typing out whatever words come to your mind that are related to the topic of soccer. And you're going to want to keep each word in a separate text box because you'll be editing each one's font later on. And of course, you can change the color and everything like that if you're selling a digital file and you want that for aesthetics or things of that nature. So you're just going to want to go ahead and write down or type out what words you'd like to use. And then another thing you can see me do is you can do a horizontal or vertical alignment when you're going through on Silhouette Studio, which is nice. That way you don't have to necessarily rotate the words all of the time. So you're just going to want to go through and do this until you feel like you have enough words to fill up your canvas. Sometimes this can be a little bit difficult. If you feel like you're running out of ideas, you can always use your friend Google, and Google can help you. If you type in like soccer words or soccer vocabulary, some things could come up, and that you can use that to type things out. I'm going to keep mine pretty simple for the purposes of this tutorial, and I'm going to get one more bigger word in there so I can fill my canvas up in the vertical orientation. And now kind of comes the fun part. Once you have all your words on the canvas, you're going to want to arrange them such that you are filling the canvas. Now keep in mind this is just the basic font, so you'll go back through and do this a few times. The total process takes anywhere between, depending on how big your canvas is, it can take anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes or more, depending on how detailed and how big you're going. It's a very simple process. I think sometimes people get a little bit intimidated, and especially when it comes to choosing fonts. But if you're using a font manager, it really helps. I mean, I have over 2,000 fonts installed on my computer. Some of them aren't even on main type as active fonts, and that number continues to grow. So I try to categorize them the best I can, so you can see everything's kind of placed where I want it to be. Now, I know the canvas isn't full, but the texts are going to change based off of these fonts. So I'm just going to go through and choose a few fonts that I would like to use as I start out. So I'm going to click on the word, type in the font I'm looking for, and go down and click on it. And that will change the font of the word. If you want to change another word to the same font, you just click on the word that has not been changed, go over to the word that has the font that you want, and hit Control and then click, and it will change the word to the font and the size that you have. So you'll have to resize, but at least that way it's kind of easier than going back to the text style panel and trying to change it that way. So you can see me do that again. I'm going to go ahead and change this one to the bold font. If you're selling the digital file, just make sure that you have these fonts available for commercial purposes. I will post a link to a blog post I have on where you can find commercial use fonts for free, Font Bundles being one of the better sites to use. And I'm just going to continue to go through and change these fonts to the sport type fonts that I'm looking for the purposes of this canvas. I'm going to need one more. I go ahead and use Dino Tunes. It's kind of a kiddie font, but I guess it is sports-like. I will also probably end up selling this file when I'm done, so I will post the link to this file when I'm completed, if anybody's interested. And I'll also post the link to the Valentine's Day one that I showed in the beginning, my Etsy shop. And now that you have everything in the appropriate typefaces that you like, you're going to go ahead and move and rearrange everything, which could mean resizing and everything else like that. You will have some gaps in your canvas, and you'll see that I generally will fill the gaps with clip art and other symbols. I'm going to go ahead and open the transform panel up because I'm going to align some of these texts so it looks a little bit cleaner. I just find that if there's some sense of alignment, it just looks a lot nicer. It has more of a professional feel to it. And you can do these for virtually anything. You can do them for holidays, you can do them for sports, you can do them for, just the options really are truly endless. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. And you can see after moving things around and rearranging everything, adding in the clip art, that we have a very good looking finished project. And I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger to clear up some of that white space. And so you can take this and print it, cut it with your vinyl cutter, and go ahead and apply that to the canvas. I'm actually very happy with the end result of this for a 10 by 10. So if you like this video, feel free to click subscribe below. I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 of these a week throughout the year, and I do have some other ones on my YouTube page as well. And I will also be doing a walkthrough, so you don't necessarily have to follow the video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer them. And if there's anything you'd like to see me do as a tutorial, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know, and I will try to get to that. I hope everybody has a great day.